proponent of education reform. What type of education reform do you think we should be engaging in the United States, and why is this so important?
Right. The way I think about education reform is simply as creating a system where all kids in our country are getting a quality education. And in some cases that requires reform, and in some cases it doesn't. We have incredibly talented teachers. We have incredibly dedicated professionals in the teaching profession. But we also have some really systemic problems in terms of how schools are funded, in terms of the sort of ability of the leader of a school to truly lead that school, to select the talent, match the talent, and when necessary, move talent. They're really limited in a lot of ways. And what I would love to see is a system where, whether it's in our current delivery system of public schools, whether it's in the charter schools that we're seeing that are experimenting with different modes of delivery, whether it's in online education, the goal is to make sure every child in this country gets a quality education, especially the children living in poverty. That's where the education can make the most difference, and that's where we see the least access, the least quality, and the least support for those kids. We see if you're in the lower quartile of income in this country, if you're a child, you have an 8% chance of going to college. If you're in the top quartile, you have an 85% chance of going to college. Those children are not 10 times smarter in the top quartile than the bottom quartile. So there's a lot of really great people, whether they consider themselves reformers or whether they consider themselves traditionalists in education. What I'm hoping we're pushing for is creating access for every kid.
Out of curiosity, I feel like this will be a really big debate in the upcoming 2016 election. Is there anything that you're hoping to hear from candidate?
There's a lot of emotional charge around things like school choice, around vouchers, around teacher unions. And what's challenging is that each political party has a history on those issues that sort of is anchoring them. What I would love to see is our political parties being willing to let go of the historical anchors of their party a little bit. So Cory Booker, I think, offers, a senator from New Jersey, offers a great example of being willing to look beyond partisan politics when it comes to quality education. And I think he sets a good example for what other politicians might want to consider.